Good morning, my yarny friends. Got a little frog in my throat there. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. It is a beautiful 65, or it might be higher than that by now, morning. Let's see what the temp is. 67. That is gorgeous in my opinion. We're having some wonderful fall temperatures. We're starting to see some of the trees change, so that's really cool. I love fall. Spring is my favorite time of year, but I do love fall as well. Alrighty, so I hope everyone's doing well. I noticed in the conversations a lot of you are really loving the chicken hat, calling it the crazy chicken. I think you could also easily make it into a turkey hat just by changing the colors, adding some browns and beiges and maybe the crown on top, making it different colors and making some, red, brown, yellow type pom-pom for the tail. And you could easily make it into a turkey. Maybe give it a gobble on the bottom. I realize that has another name, but we always called it the gobble. Alrighty, now I have another table full and stuff sitting next to me because we have a really big show today. So as I say, buckle up. Let's start with our clink in. I grabbed my Coffee and Crochet with Sara cup today. Love this cup. I'm drinking regular old coffee with French vanilla, sugar-free creamer today. I I went through the whole one of my pumpkin spice. Now remember, I always said, I don't like pumpkin spice. I don't like it. Ugh. So I went ahead and caved in and bought some from Aldi because they had some. And I liked it so much because it has such a warming feeling to it. And I always stayed away from it because I'm allergic to sugar, or not sugar. I am sensitive to cinnamon, not sugar. And I get a rash. I don't get anaphylactic, or I need the EpiPen that often, but I usually just get a rash on my arms and my hands and my face and neck. Okay, and that's from cinnamon. But we have discovered that cinnamon made in America messes with me. But if I get it from India and other places where it's a more pure cinnamon, then I don't have issues with it. And so I thought I'd give the coffee a try. Of course, then I found out the cinnamon in the coffee is actually an artificial flavor, so that's good for me. But I went through the whole first package, and I loved it so much, I went back and got 2 more, and I went back to get some more just in case, and they don't have it anymore. So I'm glad I did, but I need to slow down on it. I just love it. I never liked it. I guess I thought it was going to taste like pumpkin, and I don't like pumpkin. I mean, I don't like pumpkin pie or pumpkin bread or roll-ups or cookies or muffins or anything pumpkin. I just, bleh, I don't like it. So that's a long story to get around to the point that I'm drinking regular old, back to my regular Folgers coffee with a little bit of French creamer in it, which I super duper love. All right, I'm going to move my little coaster over here, my coffee, so I don't knock it over. I did want to answer a question. I had a couple of questions last week about where can you find those little eyeballs and these things right here. Let me show you. We made several different little things with them, and I gave away a whole bunch of these last year for Halloween. Well, I found this container at my local Walmart, and they're the same. You can still crochet in the bottom, but they're glow in the dark. Check that out. Glow in the dark, googly eyes. They're calling them googly eye rings, but they're not. They're finger puppets. And we can make all kind of fun things out of these. 99 cents. Okay, I think I paid 99 cents for these, and there's 12 of them. That is a lot of fun. The other thing is, people have been telling me they haven't been able to find spiders for our spider webs. I went ahead and hung a couple up in here just so you can see them. And also in Walmart, I found this bag for $1. Okay, there's 4 orange and 4 black. Those would be super fun on the spider webs. I think what happened is the Dollar Tree had a whole bunch of them, but they just sold out so fast. And so I thought, well, I'm running to Walmart. I had to pick up my prescription. Let's just walk through the Halloween, see what they've got. I found spiders and googly eyes. I I was so excited. Come to think of it, I think this was $1 also. It says $1.98 on it, so I lied. Sorry. $2 for 12 of them, still pretty good. I didn't mean to lie. That's what I used to say when I was a kid. My mom never, believed me. I do want to thank Rita for this wonderful card. It really brightened up my day because I got another card and it wasn't very nice. And they told me they were tired of hearing about my dead dog. Well, you know what? You're still going to hear about it because I love my Maximo, okay? And he went over the Rainbow Bridge a couple weeks ago, and this particular person was tired of hearing about it. So get over it. But I love this card, Rita. I love it a lot. Thank you so much. I love Happy Mail. And I've had people, the funny thing about that other card is I don't even know who that person was. I didn't recognize the name. I don't know how they got my address. So it was kind of different. But anyway, I'm not going to worry about it because you know what? I love dogs. And if you want to talk to me about your pets, I am 100% okay with that. Okay? Because pets make our life so much happier and fuller. I mean, you should see Rosie over here. She's got both the poofs up. Because, I have those round poofs for my dog. She's got them piled up and she's laying on top of them again. If it was me, I think I'd spread them out. She's on top of both of them and she's hanging off. Alrighty. Now, I wanted to mention this morning. Before we were starting and everything, sometimes I like to go and look at some YouTube videos of people that I watch, and I happened to come across Mikey from the Crochet Crowd, and y'all know who he is, very popular. He was showing a new yarn from Red Heart Yarn. Well, you know how they made the Granny Square yarn and it went really crazy? Everybody either loved it or didn't, I loved it. I used some of it. I had one pattern out there with it. And I do actually have another one that I was going to do that I did not get to. But anyway, there's a new yarn that makes a flower square. You have to go and look at it. That's Mikey, the Crochet Crowd. And he does a tutorial on how to find your gauge and everything. And he was talking about, it's 3 colors. And it starts with the center, then you go make the flower part, and then you just finish with the 3rd color. And it's the same thing as the Granny Square yarn, only it makes a flower. So go look at it. It is so cool. I hope Walmart gets it in because it's so expensive for shipping to order. I hate to say that online. To order through Red Heart or Yarnspirations. To me, it's just outrageous, their shipping. But I'll do it if I want it, So maybe Joann's will get it or Michael's or Walmart got the Granny Square yarn. So hopefully they'll order this. But go look at Mikey's video. It is so cool. It really is. If I remember, I'll put the link underneath this video because it was like last minute that I saw it. But I thought it was super cool. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention is our shout out before I forget. Because I forgot to the end of the video last week and I don't want to forget. Camille's, Joann's probably doesn't have it yet because they just released it this morning. But I bet they'll get it. They have the Granny Square yarn there. The problem with Joann's is it takes me 45 minutes to get there. Okay, so our shout out of the week is Nancy of She's Got Yarn Too. I enjoyed her video. I loved it because it was just, I say her video, the couple that I watch, because I usually watch 2 or 3 to kind of get a vibe of who the people are, and then I watch more of their videos after that. But I really like this lady, Nancy, of She's Got Yarn Too, and I put the link underneath this video as well. I'm going to write down to put Mikey's video on there, because I'll forget. But anyway, I really like this woman. I liked her down-to-earth style and who she is and what she's doing. And that's one of the things that when I look for another YouTube channel that's in crafts and crochet and things to shout out to y'all to go check out, it's important to me because, like I said, I think we should be each other's greatest cheerleaders and encourage each other. But also, what I look for in people is if they are down-to-earth. Do they seem real? Do they know what they're talking about? And even if they're not completely sure, you know, yes, there is a left-handed version that Mikey showed. Yeah. But anyway, sorry, I saw your note and I thought I would just say, yes, there is. He always does a right and a left-handed. Okay, so, anywho, this particular lady, Nancy of She's Got Yarn, and it's a 2, I just found her really kind of interesting, and it kept me watching. Sometimes I'll watch a few videos. They're funny, they're cute, you know. I'm like, yeah, okay, you know. She really kept me watching. Okay, she was just interesting, and I like that and real. All right, I've been talking for a while. Are you ready to find out who the winner is? I've been looking to see if I see the name come up, but I haven't seen it yet. Or sometimes the comments go pretty fast and I don't see them. So if she's here today. Before I announce her name, let's review what it is. You're going to get this cute pair of ladies' socks, but guys can wear them too. I don't know what size feet they are. Let's see. Oh my word, it's so small I can't read it. 5 to 9. But, you know, they're stretchy. All right, now you're going to get this Annie's kit that was donated by Angela Wagoner. And I looked at the pattern on the inside. I wanted to clarify this. It is a pillow with a pocket. It's like got a book pocket or a pamphlet pocket in it, which is kind of really nice. I love that. Okay. It comes with 2 skeins of yarn, and this one is the stuffing up here. They've like sucked all the air out of it. All right. And the complete pattern. And it also has the chart. So you can know, you know, how to do that if you want to do that. Now, remember, you don't have to make what comes with the yarn. You might want to make something else with this, a scarf or something, okay? So you're going to get those. The skeins are, I was going to see if it said how much was on them. 250 yards each, or 5 ounces on each skein. A pink and a white, the pattern, the stuffing, and the socks. Because, you know, I don't know if you know this or not, but when you're going through chemo treatments, your feet are freezing. I don't think I could keep my mom's feet warm enough. I used to throw big old wool blankets on her feet. All right. Now, just a reminder, never, ever, 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 and I can't say this enough, ever, put your personal information in a public comment. Never put your email address, your shipping address, your phone number, anything like that ever in a public comment, okay? So, how you can contact me are 2 ways. You can go down underneath this video and click where it says website. Click that. It'll take you right over to my website. It's just a really simple little website, nothing major. And it has a little square that says contact us. Hit that contact tab and it'll shoot me an email and you can send me your information that way. Okay, if you don't want to do that, you can go to Facebook and go to Posh, Pooch Designs. That's my business page, and shoot me a message that way. I sort of feel like it's safer to go through my email because there's a lot of weird stuff going on Facebook right now and it's really hard to keep the spam out. Okay, and so I don't want you to get spammed in any way. So I'm trying to keep you safe. Okay? Ready? I see that Sandra's doing the drum roll. The winner, I checked the name this time. I got it right. So I wrote it down wrong last time. All right, the name of our winner for our October giveaway is Kelly, K-E-L-L-Y, Nally, N-A-L-L-E-Y. And I've been looking to see if she's here. I don't see her name. So I hope you're here or come in later or watch later. Kelly, Nally, contact me because remember, I don't chase you down because I don't know anything about you, where you're at or anything. So you need to contact me. All right? Congratulations. This is a nice prize, I'll have to say. And I'm going to set that over there in that box. All right. Now, the next big thing. An unboxing. And again, I'm going to say this. I have already unboxed it. I've put a couple of pictures out there. It was a surprise because it was another one of those things where my husband said, Sarah, you got a box from Premier out here on the porch. I'm like, I do? Did I order something and forget? Because they do send us boxes sometimes, but usually they send us an email and tell us don't talk about this a certain date till it's released, and stuff like that. And I was so excited, it's absolutely gorgeous, by the way. But I hadn't gotten an email, so I messaged my contact, and they're like, yeah, for some reason the emails didn't go out, and we'd already sent everything out. So here's your email and your information. So just so you know, big companies have issues also when it comes to email. So this is the box that it came in, which was completely different than the boxes I usually get stuff in. So I usually get the ones that have all the stuff on here. And then my grandkids and I sit around and color. It's so fun. Anyway, so this is the box. And I'm going to put this over in this other camera so you can see it better, because this stuff is gorgeous. All right, so here's the box. I'm going to try not to hit my light up there. There we go. And I like this. It says, luxury is a matter of style rather than money. And I have to tell you, I was surprised that these yarns weren't higher priced. Okay, so this is what's in here. It's called L by Me, and there's Charlotte, Multis by Charlotte. And I'm not sure how to say this. I said Uriel, but I might be wrong. Or Urelli. I think it might be French, and I'm terrible with words, but I don't know how to pronounce that one. But it's gorgeous. Just hang on, I'll show them to you. And Odette. Okay? So, let me show you. So this is the Charlotte. It's a bulky number 5, and this is the solid. It is 60% acrylic and 40% wool, and it is so soft. And then this is a matching one that's a multi that is Charlotte, L by Me, because this is a line. It's not just one type of yarn. The Charlotte comes in solid and in multis. And this one, I'm going to show you that one last. Look at this. This has got sparkle going through that. Isn't that gorgeous? This is a bulky 5, 23% polyester, 22% alpaca, 22% superwash merino wool, 18% most metallized polyester, that's your sparkle, and then 15% acrylic. It is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. I just couldn't stop looking at it the other day. It's just beautiful. Okay, and then they sent this to go with it. And this is the Urelli. I'm sorry, I wish I could pronounce that. I put it online to see how they pronounced it, and I couldn't do it. Because you can do that. This is 55% polyester, 36% acrylic, and 9% metallized polyester. Isn't that gorgeous? It's got a sparkle and a bump to it. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And so I already have plans of what I'm doing with these two together and these two together. All right, so let me show you online so we can talk about price, because I was expecting these to be a whole lot more expensive. All right, let me close this, and I'm going to grab my iPad, pull this up real quick because I've got it all ready to go. All right, let me move this and bring this in. Now, if you go to Premier website, and please use my link, this is what comes up. L by Me. Embrace luxury. Okay? And then here's our 3 new styles. Look how inexpensive these are. This is the Odette, the fuzzy one, $8.99. This is the Charlotte. You get solids and bulky, not bulky, solids and variegated, $6.99. And then this is that bumpy yarn, $6.99. All right, now look at all the colors of this. Bring this up. All right, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different colors. And this is that fuzzy one. There's the one that I have. Isn't that just gorgeous? And again, it's a 3.5 ounces, and it's a bulky number 5. All right, let's go back, and we'll go to this one. Check out all these. Look at that. All of these solids and variegateds, and that's the neat thing what they've done with this is everything corresponds, okay? And some of these colors are just gorgeous. Look at that green. And here's some variegated ones. Isn't that beautiful? I'm just so impressed with this yarn. And I'm so impressed that it's not more expensive. Okay? And again, this is a bulky number 5. And it's got solids and multis. 60% acrylic, 40% wool. I just cannot wait to make something with these. Okay, the next one. This one I'm just so in love with too, because here's the one they sent me. That's one called Mirror Ball. It does look like a silver ball, but look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Can you see that? Go there and look for yourself. Only $6.99. Bulky number 5, 5 ounces, or 3.5 ounces, sorry. And they're just absolutely gorgeous, okay? So use my link. It'll take you right to the front page where it starts like this, and you can just scroll down and see. And another neat thing that Premier did is they made up a bunch of patterns for you. And there's some more pictures of the yarn that you can make. And I love that they do that because you can see what it looks like stitched up. Whether you're going to knit or whether you're going to crochet, you can see what it looks like stitched up. They are absolutely gorgeous. Luxury, exactly, but the price is fantastic. And I cannot wait. I already have 2. I've already been, because what I do when I get a new yarn in is I start sketching. And I have my color pencils. A lot of times I'll use markers. And I'll kind of come up with a design. I'm not an artist by any means when it comes to like designer sketches. It doesn't look like that. It's not that fancy. But I already have an idea what I'm going to do with that lavender and that variegated. And I already have an idea of what I want to do with the gray with that bumpy yarn. I'm just so excited about both of those. And I cannot wait to get more. It's kind of like the way that I felt when I first got in the bulky fruit cakes. Sounds like something you eat. I love that yarn, and I already have something else going with those as well. Because of course I made that that monster. It's back behind the chicken. It's laying back there behind the chicken. And I thought this needs a blanket to go with it. It'd be a nice gift. So I'm working on a really interesting different blanket for it. And I love the yarn. It's so much fun to work with. So anyway, that is our yarn of the week. And it's just one of those things. I love yarn. And I love it when they come up with new and different and intricate things that are, a lot of times it's just like when Homespun came out and everyone's like, oh, I hate this yarn. I'm like, I love this yarn. Fun Fur came out. I'm like, I love this. It's so much fun. They're like, yeah, I don't like that. You know? And all those lace yarns with all the ruffle scarves and stuff. I loved that too. I love different kinds of yarn. I guess because it's a challenge. And I like a good challenge when it comes to crochet. All right. So that is our yarn of the week. Let me look at the time. We're doing great for time. All righty. Well, let's move along. In just a second, though, I need a cup or a drink of coffee. Yes, Mary, yes. Walmart has some of the bloom in now, and it is wonderful. I have a couple of patterns using the bloom yarn, and it is really fun. I love the chunky one. I think it's a 5. Yeah, I think it's a bulky 5. I made a blanket, and then I also made what else did I make? A scarf with the bloom. I love it. It is really smooth. You'll like it. You'll like it, Mary. Okay. What happened this week, pattern-wise, at Posh Pooch Designs? Now, before we go to the 2 patterns that we did this week, I wanted to talk to you about our this and that video. Hang on a second. I'm getting dry. Okay, so we did a this and that video last week on decreases. And I did this because I kept getting a lot of people telling me that I'm doing this wrong. And then when I do it one way, they're like, no, that's not right. This is the right way. And so I wanted you to understand that with a lot of these things, like decrease stitches, it really depends on what you're making, how you do the decrease stitch. I forgot about the invisible decrease stitch that's used a lot on Amies, because I don't make a lot of Amies. But there are several ways of doing things depending on what you're making. And that's part of the reason that I was doing the decrease this or that video. And I hope that it was helpful to you. Because one of the things that people, it's an interesting phenomenon. I don't know what you call it. That I learned how to crochet. It's well over 40 years ago now. And probably 45 years now. And I learned old school way in a lot of the techniques. And then people will tell me I'm doing it wrong. And these are people that have only been crocheting a couple of years. And I'm like, honey, just because something is different doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's different, okay? And so it's okay if you have your own way of doing things, your own little technique that you like to do, you know. And a lot of times I have ways of doing things, but I try not to confuse you with the facts, okay? You know, it's just like at the end of a row, when you chain 3 and turn, or do you turn and chain 3? Both of those are correct. They're actually the same thing. But I get people all the time tell me I say it wrong. And it's okay. I don't mind being told I'm saying it wrong. But I want you to understand that, like any art, crochet is an ever-growing and ever-changing art. And it's okay if you do things your own way. Think about it like this. Not all painters paint their trees the same, or their houses the same. They have favorite brushes or favorite paints and brands and techniques that they like to do. And what we do with yarn is crochet art. It is crochet art. It is fiber art. And that's what I told my little friend at church that I told you about last week. And she said she was getting teased at school being called a nana because she crochets on her lunch and at recess. And I told her, I said, you tell them you're an artist, that you are a fiber artist. And she said, well, the other reason they make fun of me is I like to drink hot tea at lunch. I'm like, it's okay. Who cares? You know, be yourself. I just love her because she really is just herself. And she reminds me a lot of me when I was a kid, because I was never one to, I was never pushed by, peer pressure or any of that stuff. I was just me. I made a lot of mistakes like everybody else, but, just do it. And when it comes to crochet and any art, I remember years ago, I went to a class at Michael's on how to make earrings and jewelry and things like that. And I already had all this stuff. I just wanted to make sure I was doing it correctly. And I learned I was doing a lot of things different. And the instructor, she said, don't worry about it. It still works for you. Then do it. And I thought, I love that, and it's true of any art. I know that's kind of a long way around to saying that's why I did the decrease video. Tomorrow, I'm working on a video for our this and that video for tomorrow. And that one is on shell stitches. And I really wanted to do this one because I hadn't really thought about it myself, but I got a lot of questions. And I've had people will send me a portion of a pattern and say, it says to do a shell stitch. Which one? And I'll tell them, okay, are there pictures for the pattern? Do they show you a picture of the pattern? And they're like, well, it's not a photo tutorial, but here's a picture of the blanket. And you can't even see the blanket as far as the stitches or whatever they're working on. And so I told them, I said, you need to contact the designer. And sometimes it's a great big designer that is in a book or a pamphlet or something, but you don't know which one to do, and so you're just kind of guessing. And with me, I try to put that on there because, you have a section in the top of a pattern that says stitches. And when I put shell stitch, I'll put parentheses, the abbreviation, and then I'll tell you what it is. Three double crochets in the same stitch. 10 double crochets in the same stitch, because in reality there are a lot of different ways to make a shell stitch. And so because of this conversation with this particular lady, and she was not a young lady, she was my age, I'm 61, she was my age or maybe a little bit older, and was confused by this. And I thought, if she's confused, there are probably others. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do with the this and that videos, because I don't want people to get frustrated with crochet because someone that hasn't been crocheting very long is telling you you're doing something wrong. Okay? And you know, the names get changed all the time. The way you do things, just like, you know, the basic shell stitch has been called the basic stitch. It's been called the simple stitch. It's been called the regular stitch, or, you know, it's got, you know, and that doesn't make it wrong. You just need to make sure people understand what you want them to do, basically. All right. So be looking for that tomorrow. I know I just kind of walked around the whole thing, didn't I? So, Heidi, I love to do every craft there is. I really, really do. The only reason I don't do needlepoint and crewel work anymore is because the needles are so tiny. With my arthritis, I can't do them anymore. But I used to do a ton of cross stitch and, you know, crewel work where you do the stitches and embroidery work. I love doing that, but I just can't do it anymore with my arthritis in my hand. All right, moving right along. What did we do this week? Let me click over to the other camera again. Okay, this we did yesterday. This is our October square. It's the rose quartz. Okay, and then of course I got a message again that said that's not the birthstone for October. So let me explain to you. There are 3 birthstones for October. One, of course, is the opal. And the opal has so many iridescent colors in it that there was no way for me to come up with something that looked like an opal. The other one is tourmaline, I think how you pronounce it, and it's kind of a pinky color. The third one is rose quartz, and I thought, well, this would work for either one of those. And so but I love the idea of the rose, and so I wanted to do a 3D type rose. And the way we do the back stitches on these that I show you in the video, it helps the rose to kind of become 3D because it sort of puckers it up. Okay, and it probably, if you lay something flat on it, it'll probably flatten out, but for the most part, they don't. Okay, and it looks complicated, but it is not complicated. Okay, now, there is a playlist that has all of the squares in it. It just says granny squares and Afghan squares. So if you're looking for all of the squares for the whole year, you can find them all in that playlist. And that playlist, along with the video for this particular one, is underneath this particular video. Remember, every video that I make of a crochet pattern is my design. And underneath every one of my videos, you'll find a link that takes you to the blog that has additional information that maybe I forgot to say. It has the written pattern. It has pictures, multiples, all kinds of things that you might need to work a pattern. Okay, and so this is our October pattern of the month. Now I want to grab this stack over here because I want you to see what I have. These are all the squares that I've done so far for the year. After October, it's the 10th month, so you should have 20 squares because we're doing 2 squares for each month. And they do not have to be exactly the same. You can change your colors. You can do them all in one color, whatever you want. But again, by the end of the year, as we're doing 2 per month, you will have 24 squares. And we're going to put them in a blanket in random order. But the thing is, looking at your squares and what you've done so far, be sure and be starting to pick out what we call a trim color. The color we're going to use to put them together and then trim the outside of the blanket. And if you want to make more squares, you don't have to just make 2. You can make 4, 6, 8 of every color and make an enormous blanket. Because these are fun. I call these crazy blankets because it's just a whole bunch of different squares put together to make it fun. Okay? And if you want to theme it, let's say your favorite colors are all different shades of blue. Make them all in shades of blue. Or pick one that you really like and make that one all in shades of blue. You want to make it a Halloween blanket? Do Halloween colors. You want to make it a Christmas one? Do Christmas colors. Easter, same thing. Have fun with the squares. You don't have to do the colors that I do. Okay? And so that was our square of the month. I'm going to put that over there. And then I'm going to show you what we did for our Friday Fun Day, which I just love. I'm going to show it to you this way first. Okay, let me this is our pumpkin bowl. Has a really fun texture, and it has a lid, and it's made in a glass jar. I scared myself. There's some spiders in there. I forgot I left those in there. For a second, my heart just went. Okay. I left some spiders in there. Let me get at the stuff that's in there. There's some leaves in there. The reason I did this is because I want to show you this over here. Can't believe I scared myself. Okay. So this is the jar, and you can find this jar. I want to say I paid $2.99 at Walmart. You can find these at Hobby Lobby or any craft store. They're over by all the glass vases and things. I want to say it was about a 6-inch tall, and I think it's 18 inches around. Okay, so here's the jar. The cover of the pumpkin. We use a ribbon to make sure it stays in place. You can add a tea light. If you want to put a real candle in there, you can, but do not put the lid on it. It'll burn, okay? And if you want to make it scary, you can add some spiders, or you can add some leaves. And if you're going to use a tea light or use it for candy or nuts, one thing I will suggest is if you're going to use open or unwrapped things like maybe cookies or something, or open candy, put a coffee filter inside, and that will keep the inside of this from getting way too sticky. And you can untie this and take it off and wash it. It's just when candy gets in there with little fingers, it can get sticky. Okay, so here's the top. So now our pumpkin has a top, and you can decorate it however you want, with leaves, with spiders. Just take them out and don't scare yourself. That's so funny because I was talking the other day about how I left a spider on the floor by accident in my old craft room. But anyway, this is super beautiful. Now these colors are made with this. I used one of these Vivid Sweet Rolls. And this color is called Lava Lamp. And I had this much left. Okay. I made the pumpkin and the lid with one of these. And this is 3.5 ounces, 174 yards. It's a medium weight number 4. You don't have to use that yarn. You can use any yarn that you want to. But I really loved it, and it's so beautiful. And it goes from like oranges to yellows. And up here it's got like reds and cranberry and purple, and then it goes back into orange, which is where this was. And then I dropped a spider. Oh, I got to remember to pick that up. And then I started this one from the purple, and it went back into this. And it's really easy because the lid is made exactly the same as I almost said apple, as the pumpkin. We just don't do as many rows, and then we do the decreased row. So it's super easy and it's super fun, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And we do a similar thing with this. I did this with the yellow part. The leaf is a little bit smaller, and so is the curl, but it's done the same way that we did the other day. I believe it was on the pumpkin hot pad where we make this all in one piece. We do the leaf, then we do the stem, and then we do the curl. All right, and so that's what we did for Friday. Fun day. All right, so I do have some more fun things planned. This week, though, on Friday, we're going to do something that's a fall item. And then on Monday, if I get all the tests back, I kind of pushed this one out a little bit. If I get all the tests back for it is when we're going to do our Scrap Happy project. And it's going to be the Veterans Blanket, all in red, white, and blue. And so I'm telling you this now because I used red, white, and blue variegated solids, red and white, blue and white. I got in my yarn stash and I just pulled out a whole bunch of different all acrylic yarns that were all red, white, and blue. Whether it was variegated or ombre and different shades of reds and blues, and it turned out just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm telling you this so you can get in your yarn stash and do the same thing. Get all your red, white, and blue colors. Because we're going to do the video on Monday. That's our Scrap Happy project for October. And you're going to need a total of about 12 ounces. So That might be a little low. Maybe 14 ounces with the I'll weigh it and see what it weighs. But I think it's going to be between 12 and 14 ounces. So you can get in your yarn stash, and go through and see what you can find. And also, if you don't want to make it as a veteran's blanket, because I'm calling it that just because I did red, white, and blue. And I wanted to go through and get all my red, white, and blues together. Okay, so you don't have to make it in those colors. You can make it in any colors that you want to. Again, if you want to just like grab a whole bunch of ombres or a whole bunch of variegateds or make it all one color, you can, because it's going to be a pretty much simple, I think it's either a 2-row or a 1-row repeat. I'll have to go back and check my pattern, but it's really simple. I'll give you the multiple so you can make it whatever size you want. Anywho, I'm just letting you know what we're doing. On Monday, we're going to make the Veterans Red, White, and Blue blanket for our Scrap Happy project. And then on Friday, I have another fun thing that we're going to do from then. So I know a lot of people will say, well, can you do a quick video on this? Can you do a quick video on that? Most of the time I cannot, because we are planning way ahead, because we have to get the patterns tested as far as style-wise. Then we have to read through them, have to, typed up. They have to be read through. They have to check my spelling and my math. I mean, let me be honest with you about one thing. I cheated my way through geometry. I was the only girl in that class. And the boys helped me get through because I could not do geometry. And what's so funny is my daughter had the same geometry teacher I had. And now we're friends on Facebook, and he teases me about cheating through geometry because he knew I was. He's retired now. So anywho, they check my math. I'm an artist, not a mathematician, okay? Anyway, I just want you to, we're heading out of October and into November, and we're going to be doing a lot more Christmas and holiday stuff. And then I have some plans for 1 week in December. I want to do what I call just gift things. Things we can whip up fast that make wonderful gifts. And so I just have lots of plans. January is going to be blanket month, and then we start heading into spring. And it's hard to fathom all of that, but that's the way I have to think in order to have all the ideas and the patterns and even the giveaways planned in advance. Because I want you all to love what you do. And I don't want you to be frustrated because the pattern didn't work out. And sometimes they do. Sometimes we get mistakes, or I transpose a number. You're making something this big, and I said chain 12 or 120, but I meant 12, and you're like, what? Just remember, I'm only human. My pattern testers are only human. We do the best that we can because we want you to love the patterns. Alrighty, well, we've gone over our time, and so it's time to say goodbye. I want to thank each and every one of you who tune into my videos. Be sure and give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and be sure and head over to Mikey from Crochet Crowd and see that new yarn. Also, go give Nancy of She's Got Yarn Too some crochet love over there. Give her a subscribe and a like, okay? Alrighty, and remember, we're one big happy crochet family, and we need to care about each other. See you next time.